guys, dynamic angles. It's just if I turn it. But I found a great stand for it. You'll never believe what it is. Can of Diet Pepsi. Just barely off screen there. Good stuff. Hit the PT today. Scar's looking good. I think whenever I show it here and I see it on screen, I'm like, oh, it's gnarlier than I think. But it's something to do with colors, how it represents skin. Still got the big chunk down here. You could, of all the scar tissue going on here, you could feel that. It's like a little almond or something right down at the bottom. But strength and mobility wise, doing great. Been doing my weights. They're coming around. I've been playing games and it hasn't really been bothering me. The shoulder and the upper bicep are doing okay. That upper bicep, I need to work it. I need to work it out. I think it's been ignored. It needs to get its ass kicked into gear. But I think it'll come around because it already feels like it has. It's only been a week of doing exercises and stuff. But the real trick so far has been this stretch with the torque, and this stretch with the torque, always towards the pinky, whichever way you're going, towards the pinky. I never do it this way, yeah and yeah. You could go yeah, but I think it's like easier to just use gravity right there and stretch it out that way. Look like I put up a River City Ransom video with CD and I. If you haven't watched it, check it out. If you're interested in an older game, and you got a guy who never played it, and a guy who played it a bunch back then, and we both were Nintendo kids around the same age and stuff. But it's interesting that game kind of just passed him by, and for me it was like one of these mainstays. It's the same company in stories and characters to some extent of Double Dragon. And when somebody knows Double Dragon and they play that game and they get to the points where like, what the fuck, Double Dragon's in this game? Like, yeah, it's really, it makes them go, oh, whoa, why didn't this game exist? It was like open world, RPG, beat 'em up, good music, fun graphics, like good use of Nintendo graphics. So you don't have all the graphic horsepower in the world, so you have a nice, neat style. Some might even call super deformed if you're a fan of Japanese culture. Yeah, so that video is up. It's a bit long. You don't got to watch the whole thing, but watch a little bit of it and give it a thumbs up or tell it to fuck off, whatever. Hopefully Sunday, day after today. This goes up, it'll be Saturday, but day after tomorrow, really. We'll knock some more Nazis off of a Return to Castle Wolfenstein and get that going. Sometimes we meet up to record and then we don't, because we just enjoy doing other things in each other's company. You're like, oh well, we didn't record. Crap. Been playing a lot of Control on my own free time. Amazing game. Check it out if you're a fan of world building, story, and like finding stuff in the world, reading it, finding a page or report and reading the report, and finding a video in the it's an old, they have like VHS tapes or something, but it doesn't really matter. Finding like a video and then putting the video in and watching it in your sub menu at any time. Really interesting because like the cut scenes of these audio logs and video logs that you find are live action, and you just don't get it as often as you do. And they probably take the right tact, which is to go just a little knowingly cheesy at the live action, but not like over the top, being like giving it sort of like a Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas vibe, where it's like everything, even in the future, nothing works, to quote Spaceballs. It's not even just a future game though. It's a science fiction and fantasy like like what's going on, astral plane and all this goofy crap, monsters, but also technology. They it's really interesting to be playing this game right now, which is a couple years old, but also with the TV show Loki hitting right now, and they have their TVA Time Authority in there, and they all like borrow that like Apple II, Fallout 3, like control. They all use like older technology, even though it's the more advanced and super technology. So really good aesthetic there. Could be a real fucker of a game if you're just rampaging through it, being like, well, I shoot the gun and talk to this guy. This guy's talking too much. Skip. Like, there's like a part where there's like a pull chain, and you oh, the lights go on. Oh, the lights go off. Who fuck cares? I still can't get where I'm going. It's at the end of a hallway, and there's a big gap, and you turn the lights on and off. You're like, so? But if you had read the document like around the corner, or had like watched the video and like heard what they were saying about rules of 3, it's like, chick. The third time you get warped to the middle of Butte, Montana, or someplace crazy like that, and then you figure that place out, and like, oh, this place is also rules of 3, and then you come back and you're like, I have a piece of knowledge now that's like, maybe I should try things 3 times. Rules of 3 also being a thing that Nintendo loves to apply in their games, particularly Miyamoto, inventor of Mario, is very into like, well, you make people do stuff 3 times. And you can play with it. You can be like, well, to take their shield down, you hit them 3 times and then you kill them or something. So it doesn't have to exactly be like you hit the guy 3 times and he dies or whatever. But yeah, it's a pretty cool game. After that, I'd probably jump into Resident Evil 7. But none of this, I don't think I'll be putting up video of it. I'm just enjoying it, and playing it on my free time. We have a ton of games that once we get through Return to Castle Wolfenstein, we'll see what else we put on. We got to knock that out first. I'm very into like finishing what you start before doing anything else. But yeah, when the time comes, we'll throw those on. Like someday I'm going to put up that Romance of the Three Kingdoms 2 video, and people are going to be like, why would I want to watch that game? It's like numbers scrolling by and like dialogue boxes and bullshit and like no action at all. But the intent is, and I feel like I'm getting out of this, but at the time I came up with the idea, I was like, I want to challenge myself to talk through the duration of playing through that game as fast as possible on an emulator, which is still going to be like 5 or 6 hours, but I want to entertain the whole time and talk about the fiction, talk about stuff in real life, talk about whatever fucking comes up in my mind when I'm playing it. Maybe I should think about, I finally got a nice webcam, so I might start setting up, like I used to do some Lolo stuff, Adventure of Lolo on the Nintendo. Like maybe I'll do some more Lolo and be talking about the distal tendon and the recovery there. But really the recovery's doing good. And so I started to say earlier, like I think physically I'm well recovered. Like if I just gave up now, life would be fine. But I want to push through harder. I've lost over 5 pounds. Like lately, I'm coming down on my target weight. I want to get under 250. I was well over 350 pounds well before this started, and I'm down now. I'm down to like 269 right now, and if I can drop 20 more pounds and see what I feel there, because I think I did the math correctly at the BMI at my height, basically 6'4". Like that's only overweight instead of like obese or whatever. And I've been heavy all my life, and only in the last 2 years have I figured out how to deal with it. Inspired by kids coming into my life and thinking like, oh, I want to be around for them when they get older, because I didn't really see much future. Like I always wanted to have kids myself, but we couldn't. And then suddenly there was nephews and things in the family that was like, okay, well maybe there's more to it than just like to have another triple cheeseburger. Fuck it, why not? I was always one of those guys that's like, you want to live longer? Well, the extra years are on the end of your life, so what's the point? Yeah, so we'll get a new video up. a new series going, I think would maybe invigorate us a bit. Cray's really going through some stuff. He's got it under control. Maybe we'll put up a video and talk about it a bit in a video, like where we're playing something. That was how I ended up playing Control. He played Control for a bit, and I was like, this really hits me. This looks really cool. Like, I want to try it. I only have it on PS4. He has like such a nice computer. PS4 version's like 30 frames. His is like over 60 and stuff. And I was like, but you adjust. You know, you have to stick with it, but you adjust. You know, it really doesn't matter. The game's playable, totally playable. I'll talk about it some more another time. Let's cut it off. We're only in 10 minutes, and I'm just talking over and repeating myself. So, like, subscribe, help me out. It really helps. Especially the likes. Yeah. The videos say they're bi-weekly. I never know whether that means twice a week or once every 2 weeks. But right now I'm doing them once a week. So twice a week or once every 2 weeks. I'm doing neither, so the video title makes no sense. Maybe I'll push myself to do another one. But all right, guys, see you soon.